Video games, a form of creativity few other mediums can match. It makes one wonder, how can something this complex come into being? And what does it look like when a starry-eyed boy finally gets his shot to make his own? In the fall of 2020, I was given the opportunity to create a senior project, and I chose to create a video game for my senior project, as that's what I want to do with the rest of my life, is create video games. Now has come to the point where I need to show off my video game to all of you. I decided to do so by showing off each bit of the game as it was developed up until its final release. So let's get into it. Starting with the first 3 builds, here are the maps and the tile sets for the first 2 maps I had created. As you can see, all there was tiles that made it look like there was a grid there. There wasn't anything actually created. And on the tile set front, they were extremely simplistic. Moving from that, I went from that to this, and then to this, creating most of the overworld map along with most of its tiles. Within the next 3 versions, though, I created a pretty much complete tile set with only adding a couple here and there as I needed, and the rest of the map created for the overworld, along with starting the map for the castles, so that way you had something to explore once you got to them. Here's the tile sets for both of those as they progress. In this build, you can see that I did a tremendous amount of work on the castles and added this weird void area. With most all of the game being done, I decided it was time to decorate, and in this build, as you can see, I decided to add all the decorative props to the map, and also added stuff like NPCs and quest items so that, you know, there was actual progression and it was a video game instead of a boring open map that had nothing to it. Now that we got the big basic parts of the game out of the way, I want to quickly flash on screen and show off the different sprite works that I created as I went on. Some of these were actually just tiles that I was just going to leave on top of the game, and decided, no, it would be cooler if these were doors that you could actually open, because I had just learned how to make doors. And this last bit of creative content I have to show are the scripts. Here are some of the scripts I created for this game. Some of these had to be created all by hand, some of these I referenced other pre-existing scripts within the game engine in order to create it myself, you know. Obviously I'm copying some of the work so that way it functions, because otherwise it would never function. Along with the just anything else that I wanted to put in here, because there's a lot of cool stuff. Coffee.